The EPCHS, heard everywhere podcasts can be found, and always at the EPCHS.com.
And belly on up to my 9-foot homemade oak bar in my basement here in Evergreen Park and pour yourself a cold one. It's another episode of the EP Podcast. Evergreen Park High School's head basketball coach, Jim Sexton, down here at the bar in just moments. He has a brand new job. Meanwhile, Hannah's getting ready for girls' night.
The girls' night.
Girls' night. So what is the plan?
Slumber party.
Is it a slumber party or are you going out drinking?
Well, we're going out for dinner. We'll have drinks, and then me and Erica are going to have a sleepover at my house, and I'm going to put little twinkle lights like out on my balcony, and we'll have some wine, and just have a girls' night. Have a slumber party.
Here's a funny thing.
Have a slumber party for my 40th birthday.
I think she's mad at me because I'm not concerned in the least. She's like,
Why?
you can come pick me up or I could just stay overnight. I'm like, stay. When you're young, you want to cuddle. When you're married 19 years, you're like, one night in a big giant bed all by myself? Thank you. Stay at your friend's place.
Oh, come on.
That's how I feel.
You don't like cuddling anymore?
Yeah, I'm going to sit around. I'm going to stream an old HBO show. I'm all stuck on Entourage again. I went back and started watching it. Last time I watched that, I didn't even have kids.
Yeah.
I got a teenager. That's how old that show is. And in some ways, it has not aged well for this time and age. But on the other hand, I don't really care the show's funny, but that's what I've been doing. So that's all I'm going to do. You're going to go out partying, and I'm going to sit around and relive my early 20s watching Entourage and Ari Gold. That's my plan.
And I am just going to pretend I'm turning 30 instead of 40.
Yeah, you're not. You're turning
I'm
40.
not.
And this episode of the EP Podcast is brought to you by our proud sponsors, the First National Bank of Evergreen Park. You need a bank you can rely on, one that knows this community, one that is embedded here, one that is in that iconic building over at 95th and Pulaski as you enter the EP from the west. One that can give you $300 when you open up a checking account or $200 when you open up a savings account. Or why not just do both and make $500 with qualifying activities? They have no overdraft fees. The ATMs are free. Doesn't matter whose ATM you're using. They just put the money back in from the fees. I got all my kids' junior savers accounts. I pay attention to everything that they're doing. There's so much available there. Stop in and see them. Say hi. 95th and Pulaski, the First National Bank of Evergreen Park. Before we get to our guest here, a quick reminder for everybody. On the EP Podcast YouTube page, our last live show has all kinds of footage from the Evergreen Park Independence Day Parade. The last episode of the EP Podcast audio version, wherever podcasts can be found and always at the EPCHS.com, has a quick 30-minute recap of everything with all the interviews and the sounds of the parade. The episode right before that has an in-depth interview with Mayor Kelly Burke. There's lots available for you to listen to. I thought it was a beautiful day. All you did was complain about that it was too hot.
It was sticky hot out there. It was just stagnant, humid, muggy.
I didn't feel that at all.
Oh God, I felt it. My scalp was soaking wet. Like when I got home, I was just like, I had to strip everything off. It was sticking to me. I had to take a shower. It was hot out there.
See, I felt great.
Yeah,
then again, we were at a party. I was partying. That was the beginning of my weekend, okay? Family Waterproofing Solutions set us up at 95th.
Oh, they were awesome.
And Turner. They sponsor Southside Pod. They also at times have sponsored Socks in the Basement. They have been a part of this network for up to 3 years, I think, at this point. We've become very good friends. Never met them until they reached out to me and said, I love this podcast thing you do, and we're a growing business, and we would love to tell people what we do. And so they've always been great friends over there, Ken and Marie and the rest of the family. It's a family-owned business. And we were invited not only onto their property where they were having a barbecue and, drinks and fun and everything. It was all on private property. Don't worry, it wasn't out in the street. And we set up on the corner of their parking lot so we could get a good view. Mm-hmm. But then afterwards, I got invited over to the house. Kids were swimming in the pool. We watched the fireworks near Duffy Park. It was a beautiful night. Great fireworks. They had a great time, and I want to make sure that I thank them.
Yeah, that was so nice of them just to have us there and let us set up. They fed us nonstop food coming off that grill.
For sure.
Like, how much did you have?
I was just taking advantage of the fact that somebody else was having a party and there was a parade and there were fireworks and we were using it all to celebrate my 8-year-old Nick's birthday. In fact, that was his birthday.
That was his birthday, yeah, the parade.
The parade was his birthday. He thinks we threw it for him, okay? That kid had a blast. In fact, I'll tell you, to tell you something about the mayor, which I just, it's amazing. She's in in a car going along. She probably knows so many people on that route. There's a million kids. He's nowhere near my tent. He's like half a block down.
Yeah.
I actually was looking as she went by at what was happening, and she saw little Nick standing there with his little American flag and yelled to him because she wanted to make sure he got some candy from the car.
That's great.
Because she recognizes him from when she comes over here and does the show from time to time.
You can't forget him.
And he likes to tell her what he wants changed with the city. He mistaken her for Lori Lightfoot one time.
I remember that. I wanted to know why the Bears were leaving, why the mayor couldn't keep the Bears in Chicago.
All he knew is that the mayor hadn't kept the Bears, and I was like, this is the mayor of Evergreen Park. And he's like, how'd you lose the Bears? Like, he's got his arms out, he's all disgusted.
I'll never forget that.
Jim Sexton's here, the younger. I never know what to say with that, because your dad was the mayor and, you're the basketball coach, and I don't know how to do that.
Usually junior, or they used to say Big Jim, Little Jim, but now I'm bigger than him, so you can't go by that anymore, so junior's fine.
All right. Well, Junior, you have a new job. You're not leaving the basketball team. That's the first thing I was worried about when you told me you had a new job. I was like, uh-oh. But you're still coaching the basketball team, but you're doing something else here in Evergreen, right?
Absolutely, yeah. No, definitely not leaving the basketball program. We got to do a big year, looking forward to that. But yeah, no, I just recently took the a manager position at the Evergreen Park Sports Complex over at 91st Street, right across from the 50-acre park, the Sexton 50-acre park. So Superintendent Mr. Tom O'Malley gave me the opportunity to manage the facility over there. And this is my 4th day today. So up and running, and it's a real exciting time for me and my family.
I think whenever we meet coaches at the high school level, they generally are teachers. But people would be, I don't know if they'd be surprised, but interested to know, unlike most of the coaches we have on the show, you are actually not a teacher. So you get so much for coaching, and then you kind of have to do something else. And so this is your something else. And I think it's interesting to have a guy running that facility who also coaches a team, because you have somebody who understands athletics and how to, how to get the most out of a facility like that, I would think.
Absolutely. I mean, I think, the main goal with the facility is for the high school and the community to kind of be a hub of everything that's going on, a real centerpiece of the community so people can exercise, compete competitively in sports. So, I mean, I think the athletic background definitely goes a long way. I've had a lot of years in sales and sales management. So, kind of those people skills that go along with it are important in the job as well. So, yeah, a facility, the facility is 90,000 square feet. So we've got 8 courts, we've got a pool, racquetball courts, a golf simulator, different programs that are run out of there that, it takes a lot of organization, and the coaching background really goes a long way in that organizational piece.
Yeah, you mentioned the pool. It's an outdoor pool, right?
Correct.
I had 2 of my kids learned in that pool before it was something that the high school took over.
Sure.
The other guy, I'm going to have to send him over there because I keep watching me struggling in the backyard. I'm like, you're not really picking this up as well as your brother and sister did. You're not as much of a fish as the other 2 in the family. So, like, what do you have going on this summer with that? Because that only works in the summer. Can anybody go swim in that?
So there's a resident fee and a non-resident fee. So it's open for membership, pool membership. We have a group that comes in. What are you waiting for? That do swimming lessons if your guy wants to get out there. So they do that part of the day, and then the rest of the day is open swim for resident members and non-resident members.
See, and that is interesting to me because there are so many people in Evergreen. They're paying a lot of money to go to Aqua in Oak Lawn and probably don't realize they got a pool right here. They got an outdoor pool right here. And so, and I would imagine pretty competitive pricing at the one in Evergreen compared to the company that's over there.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I think that's, it's, the high school purchased that property and right around COVID. And so this pool is a little slow up and running because of COVID, but it's been open full time now for 2 years. This will be the 2nd year. The memberships have really started to pick up, but it's still nice. It's quiet. You're going to get a lot of children, a lot of seniors, kind of a good mix of younger and older people in the pool, and it's pretty laid back. Unfortunately, we don't have a splash pad right now. That's going to be next summer as far as
that's
kind of
big news.
bringing in more.
I'm going to tell you, I heard somebody the other day, I was standing out there at Duffy Park and they thought that pickleball court was going to be a splash pad. And I said, no, it is not. It is a pickleball. I'm always crushing people's dreams around here because I interview everybody, so I know what's going on. And I was like, no, and like just the look of disappointment. So a splash pad is something that'll make people excited. Because I'm going to tell you something. I remember the old Aqua that was in Evergreen.
Sure.
I used to swim in it as a kid.
Yep.
Okay. And I get that every once in a while. Like, well, we don't really have an outdoor pool here. We really don't have anything that people can go to like that anymore. Like nobody wants to go and look for the hours where I can use the indoor pool over at the high school. People want to go swimming and they want to be outside in the sun. And it's been a complaint. And I don't think a lot of people realize you actually have one now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's open for full memberships. Like I said, the last couple of years, it's been a little more limited. I think we're up to about 80 members right now. We got room for a lot more. Man, the 3rd of July and the 4th of July, we were open for the pool, and we had 45 to 50 people in there. We still got plenty of room for more capacity. So, yeah, like you said, just families just getting out there, getting sun, kids having fun in the pool. So it's definitely a great opportunity for, Evergreen residents to get out there and, anyone's looking for information, they can just email me at jsexton@evergreenpark.org. And also they can go to our website, evergreenpark.org is the high school's website. Click on athletics, and there's a tab that says sports complex that kind of gives you the mission and different programs that are going on. You mentioned pickleball. We're going to have indoor pickleball as well with the new, we just renovating 8 sport courts that'll be brand new starting August 1st. So,
and just for anybody that's never checked this place out, and I was just telling you, I haven't been in it since the high school took it over. I think I saw one section of it. I saw the indoor baseball field, which is really neat. You can play indoor baseball on turf, which is really cool. But I haven't really gone through the entire facility yet. But from what I remember, you got a lot of parking there.
Correct.
Okay. You're just to the east of California on 91st. Across the street, you got 50 Acre. You got the barn, or I'm sorry, I call it 50 Acres, your father's park. You got James J. Sexton Park. You've got the barn at James J. Sexton Park. And then you've also got the driving range over there. Okay. And then on the other side of that street there on 91st, you have your facility that has all this stuff, the outdoor pool and everything that's in there. I remember when I was younger, I used to go in there. I used to use it as a gym.
Yep.
They used to have a gym. Is there still gym equipment in there? And can you get a membership to go in there and use it?
Absolutely. Yep. The fitness center has weights, free weights, machines, lots of treadmills, steppers, different things like that. So yeah, we've got a really good amount of fitness members right now, but it's open for membership for residents. And yeah, we're definitely, like I said, we've got room for more. It's nice facility for, residents to get out there and stay in shape.
Yeah, really cool. What else did I not mention everything? Because I've heard pickleball court. I mentioned the baseball field that's indoors, which is really neat.
Yeah, the baseball field I think is really it's. I mean, you kind of throw around state of the art, but it really is state of the art. I mean, where our high school teams are able to get on there. Yesterday was a prime example of when the rain kind of came in and threw everything out of whack. All of our local Evergreen Park Baseball Club teams were able to come in and practice. We were able to slot them in there to practice. Some of our we run Mustang Baseball Academy, which is a youth feeder program for our Evergreen Park baseball team. And they were able to come in, get some practices in. And so from basically 2 till when we close at 10, there was youth baseball teams in there staying out of the rain and able to continue to, get their work in. So it was great.
So this is a school facility, right?
Correct.
School facility. I would imagine the vast majority of what you're getting in terms of your memberships and stuff like that is for maintaining the facility. Something like that happens and you got like a league all of a sudden that wants to run in there. Is that something where you throw open the doors, or is that something you got kind of a preset agreement with them? Like, hey, if you guys ever need to use this is what it costs. They kind of know.
Correct. Yeah. So, I mean, the big thing there is, like you said, I mean, it's a community-based facility where, the high school takes precedent as far as our programs that are there. Obviously, we like to work with our feeder programs in the Catholic schools, Redeemer, St. John Fisher, District 124, as far as youth programs. And then like you said, as far as maintaining the facility and putting the money into making it, as nice as it is, it'd be sent towards rent. We have a tennis program. We have Ahmad Hassan is our tennis pro, and he does lessons through there. So you can rent tennis time. There's, like I said, you can come in, play. There's open play pickleball. Probably some things I'm going to miss here, but golf. There's a golf
it's
simulator.
Only your fourth day, Chip. I don't expect you to get everything.
Right, exactly. There's a golf simulator. So, there's different things for, basically
Golf simulator is
anything.
funny to me because you have the golf range over there, but on the simulator you can play other places.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
You're able to play any course you want, and then obviously when the range isn't open in the winter or one of those days when it's super, super hot and people just would rather be inside. But yeah, there's different programs that we rent out. Like I said, tennis. We have some current renters that spend a lot of time in there. Michio Volleyball Academy is in there. They rent court space from us. Like I said, we have our tennis program. Mang and Dance, Beverly Ride On. There's a Beverly cycling spin classes. Different things that come in there. Like I said, Mustang Baseball Academy is real big. They're in there constantly as far as running their travel youth teams. And I think that's one of the things we'll really start to move towards once these sport courts are finished is running tournaments out of there so we can keep our kids in the community playing in Evergreen as opposed to having to run to Indiana or Michigan or even the south suburbs. So we'll be able to run volleyball, basketball tournaments, even at the younger levels, baseball tournaments in there to keep kids in the community and really make it, like I said, kind of a centerpiece of the community.
Yeah, travel parents are going to love you if you start doing that kind of stuff. Man, oh man.
You know how that goes.
Oh, goodness. I mean, like every time you drive by and there's like a holiday or it's like, I remember I drove by Klein Park on Father's Day and I had my kids in the car and we were going to do something. And my one son goes, "What's going on over here?" I said, "Those are all the dads who are spending Father's Day at the field." Yeah. Okay. I said, those guys, they live the life and they never go anywhere except for sporting events and work, it seems like. Like that's what those dads are doing today. And so I think anytime you can get something that's in the area and that people are going to be able to be around, that's awesome.
Yeah. No, I think that's really the goal of it. When the high school, Mr. O'Malley purchased it, 3 years ago, I think the goal was to, take care of some of the infrastructure and get it up to, to where we can really make it, a great experience for anyone that comes in there. Like I said, from the younger kids that are in there playing baseball or playing basketball or playing volleyball up to seniors that can come in there. We're working on a Silver Sneakers program through Medicare where seniors can come in and use the facilities as far as the like you said, the fitness center, possibly eventually the pool. So there's a lot of different things we've got going. And like I said, I appreciate being on here today because it's nice to be able to kind of promote it because it's been around, but partly because of COVID, I don't know if the word has officially totally gotten out there. So, part of my new responsibility is to get the word out there and really try to get as many people in there to really experience it and keep it in the community and have a great time.
I think in the last couple of years, that's the area that most people need to learn a little bit more about. There's been so many improvements over at the park across the street from you. There's been so many improvements over there with the driving range. Even the barn is different than it was 3 years ago. And your facility over there is different. And it's really something that people should know about because I never want to hear people complain like we don't have enough going on here. There seems to be plenty.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like you said, that area right over there is great. We're actually another part of the the upgrades in the facility is next week. And it won't affect members, but we're totally resurfacing the parking lot. You said that there's plenty of parking over there, so that'll be nice and relined and everything else. Sealed, so it'll be a nice opportunity to be able to. Once we do continue to get more and more members and more participation in the facility and eventually tournaments, to have that kind of brand new parking lot as well.
Awesome. Well, anytime you want to talk about this place, you let me know.
We'll have to get you out there.
I'm going to come out there. Are you kidding me? I'm already sitting there going, I got to go over there and start working out. I've had I don't know if you heard, I threw out my back.
No.
Threw out my back about a month ago. I'm still doing physical therapy. I'm almost to the end, although I went to the lake for the first time this past weekend, and every time a wave hit the boat, I was like, oh, I'm not better yet.
Swim therapy is going to be good for you.
But I was finally given permission at my last session I could start doing some weights again because I really, really miss being able to do something. I've been down for a little while, so I think I'll start over there.
All right. I love it.
All right, bud. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Chris.
Building relationships, supporting the community, and service. These are the things that Country Financial stands for. They're more than just an office you may pass by as you drive through Evergreen Park. They're neighbors who lend a helping hand and support the fabric of your community, including charitable organizations, sports, financial education, and civic organizations. And since Country is already your neighbor, they want to get together and chat. Call your local Country Financial representative, Mike Thauer, today at 708 888-425-1559 to talk about the things that are important to you and how he can help you protect them. I went to physical therapy today. I want to just tell this story. You heard it in the interview. This back injury is just the craziest thing because nobody can tell that I'm hurt. And I'm like, there are things I just can't do.
Yeah.
It's just like sitting down is still a thing. Like during the show, I've kind of leaned on the bar stool a few times, but like literally sitting down is like a thing for me. Right.
Yeah.
And so that like, it's still not better. It's like one of these things I'm going to be doing for months. And the big news was today that I talked to the physical therapist and she basically was like, I don't know about you playing 16-inch softball this year in the league that I'm in. And I've already had reached out. I was like, I don't know if I can play. I haven't been sure what I can do. And the good news is that I didn't ask her before I went and played wiffle ball at the cottage with the family. So I played and survived. So then he did some motion test. And I'm going to be good to go, at least for game one of the season. I know my team's very worried about this.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure Norm and everybody.
Norm doesn't have me this year.
Oh, he's not? Okay.
No, he used to be my coach, but he didn't draft me. That shows how good I am. It shows how good I am.
He didn't even draft you.
Shows how good I am at 16-inch softball that previous coaches don't draft me back. That's how good. That's how spectacular I am on the field.
Spectacular.
I had a walk-off home run. Well, it was a ground roll double. Walk-off ground roll double. On the in the wiffle ball game, in the Lanuti annual 4th of July wiffle ball game.
Well, you had a good 4th of July then.
I had a huge 4th of July. Are you kidding me? It is now time for your EP podcast, Word on the Street, brought to you by the brand new Spoken Vine Wine Bar and Bottle Shop on the northeast corner of 95th and Kedzie. The food is incredible. I recommend the bacon wrapped dates, the meatballs, the flatbreads, the wine, extensive. I'm a red wine guy. There's like a whole other page of white wines that I may explore someday, but there's so much to just get in my own wheelhouse. It is a 21 and over establishment. Be sure to check out Evergreen Park's hottest new spot, 3146 West 95th Street. The annual historical tour of Evergreen Park cycling experience, open to kids grades 5 through 12 and their families, is happening on Saturday, July the 29th. It kicks off at 9:30 in the morning. You check in a half hour ahead of time at the Community Center, 3450 West 97th Street. You must register in advance by Friday, the 21st of July. It is a beautiful Saturday morning, riding your own bike around, learning some of the local history, experiencing all the community has to offer, a free 90-minute group bike tour. Free. Members of the Evergreen Park Historical Commission will provide stories and anecdotes at several key historical areas in Evergreen Park. EP Police and FD going to be out there helping with street crossings, and you're going to finish the tour back up at the Community Center with snacks, refreshments, and games at the Youth Center. If you have a question, call our friend Paisha, 708-229-3377. The Office of Citizen Services is also organizing a Great Smoky Mountains trip, 6 days, 5 nights in September from the 24th through the 29th. It's going to feature 3 different shows and visits to Asheville, North Carolina, and the Biltmore Estate, plus much more. The deadline to register is coming up on the 14th, this Friday. Call 708-422-8776 for more info. Congratulations to the Evergreen Park Mustangs 13U State Championship Team, winners of the Babe Ruth League. This is a baseball and softball town here, and we just continue to win, don't we? This Thursday, Evergreen Park is having a shredding event, 9 to 11 in the morning. It'll be going on over at the Farmers Market, 8900 South Kedzie Avenue. Shred your bills. You probably should pay them in advance because I think you still have to pay them even if you shred them, but the old ones, shred those. Once again, Thursday the 13th, 9 to 11 at EPCHS Field. And The ever-popular Memories to Go village-wide garage sale is now happening September the 9th, 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. at EPCHS Field. Get all the details, learn how you can register. It's all on Evergreen Park's website. And the last item on the EP podcast, Word on the Street, brought to you by Sid Sauce. Hot sauces with the peppers grown here in Evergreen Park. The sauce is developed here, delivered to your door. So many different kinds. The only hot sauces we use here at the 9-foot homemade oak bar. See everything they have to offer at sidsauce.net. Our friends at the Evergreen Park Library are celebrating Shark Week this week. Running from Tuesday the 11th through the 18th, stop by the library and see if you can find all the sharks. It's a Shark Week shark hunt. There are sharks hiding in the library. I'm going to imagine they're real sharks. Land sharks, if you will. You go into the library, sharks in the library, you find all the sharks. That gives you a riddle, solve the riddle, win a prize, maybe actually pick up a book too and read. I feel like Frank Murray left that out the last time he was here. I don't remember that at all. Did I tell the story about I went to the Evergreen Park Library, but I go and I do this class on podcasting.
Yeah.
And I got 25 people in the room waiting to hear what I have to say about podcasting. And I bring up the broadcastbasement.com website. And I've got all the different podcast logos up there on the screen. And I brought out like a version of this studio that I'm using so they can see stuff, so they understand how it works. And I've got one of the microphones and everything else like that.
Yada, yada, yada.
And at some point I go and I put on the editing software. And I'm like, here's an episode of Socks in the Basement that I edited just today. Or I edited yesterday, it's been out since this morning. And what had happened is that I had realized I had to make an edit at the last minute, and I was half asleep, and I had run downstairs, and I didn't do it right. And it was at that moment in front of the class while showing off what I had done, when it didn't work, that I realized the show had a mistake in it that was glaringly bad. Like music started in the background while I was still talking, drowned out the last few things that I said, and then there was blank space because it didn't line up correctly. I never do that. Of course, it was in front of the class. So yeah, I'm an idiot. I got up there in front of all these people.
You're not an idiot.
To
It's just
explain them how
life.
to do this, and I still screwed up. Now, the funny thing is, a couple of people have already reached out from that class about having podcasts recorded and produced here in this basement, and that's something that we do here. And there are a couple of Evergreen Park businesses that, let's see, Elite Benefits of America. Butch Zemar does a Zemar podcast. He's an EP business. He's been doing a podcast from this basement for years. Colleen Klimczak sings over at Redeemer. I think she sings over at Martyrs as well.
Martyrs too, she does, yeah.
Everybody in town knows her. She's got an organizational business. I don't want to say it wrong because of all the things she does, but she gets you more organized.
Yes,
It's called
and
Peace
I
of
need
Mind.
that. I need that in my life so bad.
You can go to peaceofmindpo.com, professionalorganizing.com, or check out Your Organized Life, which is a weekly podcast that she does down here. So I went and I showed people on the podcast, and several of them reached out and said, I don't know, why do I need to build a studio? Can I just use yours? And I'm like, sure. So I didn't screw up that badly.
For a nominal fee.
Of course, for a nominal fee. Are you kidding? I had a guy reach out today, no lie. A guy reached out to me today and asked, well, he actually reached out last week before the holiday weekend, and he goes, can you mind talking to me? We got this brand new app, and this app is going to take over the world. And it's backed by this former NFL quarterback and all these professional athletes. And we need a guy who already covers the White Sox to come on the app, and you're gonna have live video during games. And I'm thinking, this is like an alternate broadcast. It's amazing. They're hiring me for something. So I talked to the guy today, and essentially what he wanted me to do was sit in a chat room with video chat for free.
Yeah, no.
At least 7 games out of every month for the White Sox. I was like, that's like 21 hours of my life I'll never get back. First of all, you don't want to see me watching the White Sox. There's a reason why I podcast after the game. During the game, I'm swearing. There's no way that I do that without acting like a complete ass.
You do swear a lot
I don't
in the
want to
games.
have anything to do with that. And then it was basically like, well, you could get paid. We'll just keep kind of see how it works.
It's for
I was like,
exposure. It's good
great.
exposure.
So I reached out to Ed, my co-host on that show, and I'm like, you want this, you can have it. That's what I did. And he's like, it sounds like fun. I'm like, that's great, Ed. You go do it.
Go do it.
That's all yours. You reap the rewards of that one. I don't need to do that. That's what I basically
You do
did.
you, boo.
Don't forget another live show coming up this Thursday, 8 p.m., YouTube, Facebook, even on the Twitter feed. We're going to get more into that Battle of Evergreen Park. We're kicking that off here at the end of the month. You got a nomination, get it to us through the EPPodcast.com.
It's the EP Podcast. All things Evergreen Park. It's the EP Podcast. Evergreen Park.